Hi. Education has always been important to parents and the state and to people of all kinds just because it is the way to knowledge and success. And people know that gaining an education is important to be able to become successful in the world today. Back before we had the institution of being able to go to a public school, homeschooled. Most people homeschooled their children because it was too expensive to send their kids to private schools. So the majority of students were homeschooled up until the 1800s. And by the late 1800s, um, all states were underway to having complete establishment for free public education. All students were able to have public education because of the state and how important it became to the United States of America and how important it became to every parent in this wonderful nation. So one of the reasons that public school is so important is because teachers nowadays, they go to college specifically wanting to be a teacher and gain specialized education in early childhood development for children who are coming into the elementary schools, and people who are going into high schools are getting education in English and specifically for education. Tons of people love to teach and it's important to them and they really want to mold minds of the future. Another thing is that parents just don't really have this type of education. They don't have specialized education really. I mean, every now and then, of course, you're going to have a parent who does have some specialized training and education, but throughout the timeline of their child's schooling, they're not going to know everything and have to pretty much learn right along with their child and be able to teach them if they need help, which is like any parent, but that parent isn't also their teacher. Also, teacher and parents are able to work together and you're able to come to a better conclusion because parents really know the child and the teacher really knows how to teach and all the different learning styles, and parents and teachers can come together with their knowledge and really be able to provide a good education for their child. So in that sense, the public education really puts two heads together instead of one. Another thing is that at public schools, we're able to catch things such as abuse and learning disabilities. At public schools, there's usually, if not always, uh, a teacher who's on schedule that is specifically for children with learning disabilities or special education, and many teachers go to school specifically for special education. My sister-in-law actually right now because she wants to be able to teach those children and be specialized and know how to approach a situation for children with learning disabilities or disabilities in general. Another thing that is important is the abuse. Many children are sent to school and a lot of the times teachers or other students will notice things that are off about the child, and abuse is caught in public school because of that knowledge of how to recognize it. Not only that, students have an outside source to look to when they are going through things. There's always a guidance counselor on campus that's able to help and to provide another type of person to talk to that's not a parent. And a lot of times students, especially teen students, don't feel super comfortable talking to their parents, and it's always good to have someone that they know they can go and talk to, and a school guidance counselor is perfect for that. So another way public schools help their children is to be able to give them an outside source to talk to and be able to help them through any struggles they might be having. Also, students in public schools they learn to work under more pressure than students that are homeschooled. Students that go to public school, they have more competition because they are working with some students who are doing really well, and then you want to measure up to them. So there's more competition in public schools, and people tend to want to do better because of that competition. Also, there are a lot of standardized testings for public schools, teachers are doing, how students are doing in learning the material. And this type of standardized testing gives you a lot of practice for things later, such as the ACT and the SAT. So you get some practice with that type of pressure of standardized testing, where in homeschooled situations you really just don't get. Also, students who are going to a public school also have the opportunity to partake in school traditions, such as going to prom or going to football games. Particularly in high school, these traditions become really memorable in a person's life, and being homeschooled, you don't have like the same type of opportunities. Yes, you can still attend a prom. Yes, you can still attend school football games, but it's not exactly the same because there's like that school spirit, that school pride, and you really get into it as a high school student, or at least they do. And it would be kind of depriving a child of that experience to have a school spirit and to be able to participate in things like Spirit Week and going to school and doing all these fun things with your friends, and you get to see them, every day and work together and have fun together at the same time. Also, going to public school really mimics real life situations. For example, I've had teachers in the past, and I know just about everybody has had teachers in the past that they really just didn't get along with, or they just didn't really mesh, or their teaching style wasn't working for you. And someday you're going to go to a job and you're going to have a boss that you just don't particularly like, or you just, your personalities aren't meshing, or you just don't like the way things are run, or whatever it may be. But you learn how to work with those types of people in those specific situations where you just don't really particularly like working with them, but you still know how to handle the situation because you've had that experience in the past. Not only that, working with other students and group work and things like that, you're going to have those same type of experiences with coworkers that you may not get along with. Also, you might have to work in situations with people that you don't really like or don't really know, and those are also in homeschooled situations, because a lot of online homeschooling systems, they pair you up with other children who are homeschooled and also in that online school, but it's not exactly the exact same, because a lot of the school projects are hands-on and things of that nature. And don't get, so overall, I think that public school really helps kids when they because of the teacher's specialized education, because of the traditions and the fun memories that going to public school brings, because teachers and other authorities in a school are able to catch abuse and learning disabilities and have those children helped, and because overall public school really does help a child in mimicking real life situations and learning for how to deal with other people in society. Thanks.